All right, I'm going to work on this today. I've got a gentleman coming in who wants me to do a sculpture of Sagittarius. And so I may be sidetracked for a while on that because we're going to discuss the commission and all that stuff. And so I'm going to do as much as I can, and I'm just waiting for him to come by. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first off, the width of the hips at the widest point should be equal to the length of the head of the horse. Well, this side is equal, but this side is out maybe a quarter of an inch to a half an inch wider. So I'm going to even that out right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up this knife and just carve off part of the muscle, or the part that's too wide. The distance between this crevice or this crease in the buttocks of the horse, and it's very pronounced in a horse, is a half a head length. And so I'm divided the half a head length into a half of a head length, which is a quarter of a head length. And that's where the crease should be on this side too. And so that's what I'm going to do right now, is change that. What I'm doing this just in case I didn't record it before. Whitney Lake, who I'll show you in a second, he's here with me. Had a vision for a sculpture. Now, every patron of the arts down through history have had a vision, and they've hired a sculptor or a painter to fill that vision. And Whitney is full of visions.
Bless you. Bless you for saying so, Maestro Lemon.
Yeah. Sculpture is just nothing more than figuring out ways of doing something that matches the artist's and the client's vision. And
David Lemon just moves shadows, moves shadows, moves shadows.
Shadow shaper.
That's right. The shadow shaper. Love it. That fits the bill to a T, David. That is the correct thing. Right on, Rob. Yep. Yep.
Is that the angle we want? Or do you want it steeper?
Mm-hmm. Because, yes, that
well,
is...
it should be this, because then the precipice could be right here.
Yeah, that's right. Because the tail is still...
See, I could have the precipice come down like this. What I'll do is I'll fill all this with foam and carve it. That'll take up a lot of clay.
Okay.
Or save a lot of clay.
Yeah.
I got taxidermy foam, and what I do is I build a dike with clay. Not clay, but duct tape, and then I pour the foam down in there and it just fills up, and then I carve it.
Yeah, I'd say make it sort of almost like an oval on the top that sort of concentrically steps down in different directions, so that it would have looked as though it would have been possible to sort of mount the summit, as it were, of this apex. Because being a sculptor, David, you are so three-dimensional to me, and it's like you're just working 3D reality time all the time. And that to me, and that's what I do when I'm building instruments, it's that's reality land. And you're making the idea become the reality.
By the way, Whitney creates some of the most beautiful mandolins I've ever seen. All right, now look at the...
David, you are right in the ballpark there.
What do I do with my drill bit? Oh, there it is. I think what I'm going to do is angle his body just a little bit. So I cut right there and twist.
Yeah, I see that. Just a little bit, like 5-10 degrees more towards the right.
And he looks like he's actually in the position.
Yep, he's settled in. He's got the bow drawn. He's got his eye. And yeah, that's right.
So what you people are hearing right now is the creative process, both between the client and the artist. And it's a good working thing when the guy that has the vision has a vision. And he appreciates the vision that the artist also has.
And my recommendation is only work with the best, like David. Don't work with second-rate people, because they won't be able to execute what you have in mind. David already knows, because that type of relationship becomes telepathic. It really does.
That's why I show you here on my blog and on YouTube. Pay attention to every detail, because in the long run, I mean, you're not going to be a modern artist doing this. I mean, this is not a modern art piece, but it has all the shapes and forms of modern art. Modern art is just an exercise in design. We're taking design, but we're taking it further. And modern art, nothing wrong with it, it's just this takes a little more knowledge. It's not only the feeling, it's also the knowledge of what you're doing. Cutting it right behind the rib cage, because you wouldn't bend it at the rib cage. You'd bend it behind the rib cage.
There's that anatomical accuracy again, David. It's that it's a mythological creature, and yet in order to have integrity as a piece, the anatomical accuracy adds to that integrity. It's not an abstraction of any kind.
Yeah.
It's a real position that a real horse's body can attain.
Well, you got to stay within
That's right.
the laws of nature.
That's right.
You want to have some help in this?
Yeah,
Go
absolutely,
around here.
David.
Walk around the camera.
Absolutely.
I want you to hold.
I'm a hands-on guy, because this is how I would learn from a master.
Okay, just stand there and hold on his rear end real tight while I take his body
Okay. Yeah.
and twist it. that
Yeah,
works.
because that's gonna come
Yeah.
that way. Absolutely. Yep.
There we go.
Yep. Because his body is overall doing this.
Yeah.
Because that spinal
And then his
with the
his
vein.
back
Yeah.
will be going off next.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, David.
And if I do it now, it won't work. Okay. That's for you.
Thank you. Really? I can keep this?
Yeah, that's the head we took off of it.
All right.
All right, so next week I'll start the body of the gentleman, and then we'll see in relation to the gentleman if the whole design works. If it doesn't, then we can still change things on it. Now this is the gentleman that's commissioned me to do this. This is Whitney Lake, and he lives here in Ennis, and he's got his vision, and he's working it out in the clay, which is his right. He paid for it. Yeah, that looks good. Mr. Whitney.
And Master David, God bless you, sir.
Anyway, this is his sketch here that he made before he came over today of what he's looking for. And we're going to work from that and position everything.
Yeah, we're in the ballpark, brother. We are in the ballpark. Feel that overall action. It's coming up, over, and around.
Yeah.
It's like boom, and it's like cradle, and then the tail
Yeah.
with the brace,
Yeah.
like you were suggesting, David. This is like the leading leg on a horse. You know, a horse has a leading leg like we have a leading arm, like when you're drawing back a bow.
Well, and also if he's got four legs and he's taking action this way.
And a four-legged animal is always looking for balance too.
And then his balance would be that leg coming up while he's looking in that other direction.
Yeah.
And so it works out just fine.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Come here and look at it from this angle.
Yeah, brother. It's working. It's working sweetly, sweetly working.
Look at
yes,
that.
Sir.
Look at that angle.
I love 3D. I love 3D Master Lemon.
All right,
sir.
people. That's going to be it for the weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye bye.